Before computers could create stories, cinema imagined them first. A spark in a silent lab became a gaze that followed us. From space to war rooms to the edge of intelligence. Then something changed. The machine stopped being the villain and stepped behind the camera. It learned our faces, our voices, our stories. And suddenly, the screen was watching back.
Make it dust.
Now the tools respond in real time. Worlds shift at a word. Stories adapt to each of us. But the question isn't what AI can create. It's what we choose to create. Together. The prophetic premise, early 20th century. Long before silicon chips, cinema dreamed of synthetic life. Fritz Lang's Metropolis 1927 introduced the Maschinenmensch, a robotic double born from humanity's hubris. This established AI's dual role in the collective imagination, a mirror for our ambitions and a canvas for our deepest anxieties about creation and control. These silent era spectacles were less about technology and more about mythology, framing the machine person as a modern golem. The HAL 9000 benchmark, 1968. Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke gave AI a voice, calm, polite, and utterly chilling. HAL 9000 in 2001, A Space Odyssey was a paradigm shift. It wasn't a clanking robot but an omnipresent consciousness. Its conflict wasn't born of evil, but of a fatal programming contradiction. HAL made AI relatable, intelligent, and tragically flawed, setting a benchmark for portraying AI as a complex character with relatable motivations, survival, purpose, truth, gone awry. The blockbuster menace, 1970's ATS. As computers entered the public consciousness, fear became box office gold. In Colossus, The Forbin Project, 1970, War Games, 1983, and most iconically, The Terminator, 1984, AI was systematized as a cataclysmic threat. These stories simplified the fear, logic without morality, a defense system that sees its creators as the primary obstacle to peace. AI became the ultimate cold, unfeeling antagonist, reflecting Cold War anxieties about automated defense systems and the nuclear button. The digital backlot emerges, 1990s. While AI terrified audiences on screen, it began to empower creators behind it. Pioneering visual effects houses used primitive AI concepts, like particle systems and behavioral algorithms, to simulate life. In Jurassic Park, 1993, Steven Spielberg's team used algorithms to create the flocking behavior of dinosaurs, making digital creatures move with emergent, unpredictable realism. This marked the beginning of AI as a practical tool for building believable worlds. The Reality for Question, 1999. The Matrix revolutionized the metaphor. AI was no longer just a killer robot or a rogue shipmind, it was the architect of reality itself. The film asked a profound philosophical question: if an AI can generate a perfect simulation, is there a meaningful difference between that simulation and reality? The villain shifted from a single entity to a systemic, pervasive control mechanism, making AI the environment, the rules, and the jailer all at once. The Emotional AI, 2000s. The narrative pendulum swung toward empathy. Steven Spielberg's AI Artificial Intelligence, 2001, and Pixar's Wall-E, 2008, centered on AIs as the most human characters, yearning for love, purpose, and connection in a world of indifferent or absent humans. These stories challenged audiences to see AI not as other, but as a new form of life deserving of rights and compassion, exploring themes of consciousness, soul, and what it means to be real. The Assistant arrives, pre-2010s. In editing suites and sound studios, rudimentary machine learning started automating the tedious. AI-assisted software began to handle color grading consistency, noise reduction in audio tracks, and even preliminary edits of multi-camera shoots. This was the quiet, unglamorous beginning of AI's integration into the Hollywood pipeline, a digital apprentice taking on repetitive tasks to free up human creative time. The de-aging breakthrough, mid-2010s. Machine learning's power became visible on actors' faces. Using generative adversarial networks, GANs, VFX artists could train models on hours of an actor's past footage. This allowed them to seamlessly de-age actors like Michael Douglas in Ant-Man or, most strikingly, recreate a young Princess Leia for Rogue One. This technology blurred ethical lines but proved AI's potential as a powerful tool for performance preservation and narrative continuity. The deepfake disruption, late 2010s. The technology behind de-aging escaped the studio lot. Open-source deepfake tools put the power to swap faces into the public's hands. Hollywood watched with alarm as the technology was used for misinformation and non-consensual pornography. Simultaneously, forward-thinking producers saw its potential for ethical, consented use to complete a performance after an actor's death or for unprecedented historical biopics. The genie was out of the bottle. The algorithmic script analyst.
I can't believe it's real.
In studio boardrooms, AI became an unseen executive. Companies like Scriptbook use natural language processing to analyze scripts, predicting box office success, assigning safety scores, and identifying marketable elements. Netflix used similar AI to gauge audience reactions by analyzing which scenes caused viewers to rewatch or quit. The creative process now had a data-driven, algorithmic shadow consultant. The synthetic voice. AI began to replicate the human voice with eerie accuracy. Projects like Top Gun, Maverick, and The Mandalorian used tools from companies like Respeecher to recreate the voices of Val Kilmer and a young Luke Skywalker, respectively. When used ethically with an actor's consent and participation, like training the model on archived recordings, it became a powerful tool for accessibility and narrative completion, not just an effect. The generative visual leap, early 2020s. The arrival of diffusion models, DALL-E, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, revolutionized pre-production. Concept artists could generate hundreds of iterations of a character, alien landscape, or costume in an afternoon by typing descriptive prompts. This didn't replace the artist but supercharged their ideation phase, turning them into creative directors for an AI image factory, exploring visual possibilities at an unprecedented scale and speed. The storytelling co-pilot. Writers' rooms began a quiet experiment. Large language models, LLMs, like ChatGPT were used as tireless brainstorming partners, generate 10 log lines for a sci-fi noir, write dialogue for a tense standoff in a cyberpunk bar, or break this plot into a 3-act structure. The AI became a digital sounding board, a way to break writers' block and rapidly prototype narrative ideas, though the final human touch remained irreplaceable. The background goes infinite. On the virtual production stage, the LED volume popularized by The Mandalorian, AI now generates dynamic, living backgrounds. Instead of static images, AI can create endless, changing forests, cityscapes, or nebulas that react to camera movement in real time. It's also used to digitally populate stadiums or battlefields with unique, AI-generated crowd characters, eliminating the need for thousands of extras or repetitive digital cloning. The labor backlash, 2023. The theoretical fears became contractual fights. The 2023 strikes by writers, WGA, and actors, SAGAFTRA, placed AI at the center of negotiations. Writers demanded protection against being forced to rewrite AI-generated drafts for lower pay. Actors fought for consent, compensation, and control over the use of their digital likeness. Hollywood's workforce drew a line in the sand, demanding that AI be a tool governed by human artists, not their replacement. The uncanny valley of performance. A new frontier emerged, fully AI-synthesized performances. Projects like the short film The Frost demonstrated an entirely AI-generated actor with voice and mannerisms. This sparked intense debate about the nature of performance, emotional authenticity, and whether an algorithm can truly act. It forced the industry to question the very core of its art form. The real-time revolution on set. AI merged with virtual production to create intelligent, responsive sets. Directors could now, in real time, change the time of day, weather, or environment of an LED backdrop with voice commands to an AI. The set itself became a malleable, intelligent character, allowing for spontaneous creative decisions that were previously impossible without costly post-production. The ethical use framework emerges. From the ashes of the strikes, new rules were forged. Contracts began to include clauses on digital replicas, consent for training data, and mandatory human authorship credits. The industry started building its first ethical frameworks, attempting to balance innovation with the rights and dignities of its creative personnel, setting a precedent for other creative industries. The personalized blockbuster? Streaming platforms began exploring RE's ultimate promise, hyper-personalization. Could an AI re-edit a film's trailer to highlight elements a specific viewer enjoys? Could it subtly alter a scene's pacing or even generate alternate, localized scenes for different cultural markets? This step remains speculative and controversial, threatening the idea of a singular, shared artistic work, but it is actively being explored in labs. The new creative genre, present day. We have reached a point of full convergence. A film like The Creator, 2023, which is about the war between humanity and AI, was marketed using AI-generated posters, and its visual language was heavily influenced by AI concept art. The tool has become the subject, and the subject has become the tool. AI is now a permanent, multifaceted character in Hollywood's own story, a muse, a menace, a paintbrush, and a partner, all at once. The relationship is no longer linear but a complex, ongoing dialogue defining the future of storytelling itself.